Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the end of the year book tag. Very exciting. I cannot believe this year is almost over. I feel like this entire year has just been like a fever dream. I don't even know how to describe it. It has just been so ridiculously strange. But we are here to talk about and answer some questions about reading plans and ideas and excitement for the rest of the year. Thank you to Ariel Bissett for creating this tag. She created it, I think, in like 2017 or 2018. So of course I'll have her original video linked down below for any of you who are interested. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the question. So the first question is, are there any books that you need to finish before the end of the year? And I have gone ahead and sort of set myself the goal, I guess you could say, of finishing The Lord of the Rings by the end of the year. This would be a monumental success. It is one of my challenging reads that I wanted to read this year, and so far my boyfriend and I are reading it together. We're reading it aloud to each other, and it is so much fun. We are currently on page 178 out of like 1200, and we're doing really well. We are on chapter 8, which is entitled Strider, for anybody who knows anything about the story, so we're very excited. It's been so much fun. This edition that we have is so special. It's signed by Ian McKellen and it's illustrated, and it's just a great experience so far. I am not having as much difficulty getting through it as I thought I was going to. I've heard so many people say that it's like so archaic and so annoying, and it's just repetitive and jargony and things like that, and I do not find that at all. I think you have to kind of get into the mind space of understanding that this book is about a massive journey and it is about adventure in itself, and once you get to that point you realize just how special it is and how fun it is, and it's quirky and it's strange, and the people, the characters, and the friendships are just wonderful. So anyway, I would love to be able to finish this by the end of the year. All right, the next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And I do. I have a few books that I have my mind on right now. First of all, I am currently reading A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, which I think is the perfect thing to transition from the sort of dark academia September vibe that I love into the more spooky, witchy, supernatural sort of vibe that's really fun to delve into in October. So I will keep you all updated on what I think of this book. So far, I'm only a chapter in, but I'm really looking forward to delving more into this. All right, the next question is, are there any new releases that you are looking forward to? And my honest answer is right now, not really. I want to kind of delve in and focus a little bit more on the books that I have on my shelf. We have a local bookstore that opened up at the beginning of the year near us, and it is so dangerous for me to go there because I just want to get books all the time. So that being said, I have a lot of unread books on my shelves right now, and I would like for the end of the year to kind of be able to focus in on the stuff that I have, really enjoying the things that I have, while also trying to avoid reading slumpiness. If slumpiness comes along, I will break out and look in some new releases and things. But as of right now, I'm just sticking to what I got. If you guys have any recommendations though of like some crazy books you're looking forward to that are going to be released in the end of this year, let me know down below because I'm curious. So now the next question is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? And I am going to talk about 3 major books that I would like to read by the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, I made a video about my reading goals, and one of those items on my reading goals was to read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This series is so beloved by so many people. It has just been so popular this past year or so, and I feel like I am ready to delve in. It is a grimdark fantasy story about this girl who has to take a test to be admitted into this like military school, and apparently it's sort of split into 2 halves. The first half of the book is her training, and the second half of the book is putting that training into practice. Apparently it is just spectacular, and of course it's grimdark fantasy, which what could be more perfect for the darker months of the year. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this before the end of this year. And additionally, I have 2 more books that I would like to read before the end of the year, and both of these books I would actually love to read in the month of October because it is spooky season coming up. So they will probably be mentioned in my October TBR as well, but I would love to finally read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I never had to read this in school or anything like that, and so I didn't read it. And there's so much of our like modern day human experience that centers around people talking about having read Frankenstein or knowing that classic story, knowing Mary Shelley as an author and things like that. So I would just really like to be able to finally read this classic story, and it'll add some spooky vibes for October. And the biggest book that I am scared to read, but also excited and also kind of have no idea what to expect, that I would like to read by the end of the year is The Shining by Stephen King. If you have followed along my channel for a little bit, you will probably know that I am a big scaredy cat. I am not a fan of horror movies. I'm not a fan of scary movies. When I am super anxious or just going through a slumpy, like low spot in my life, I barely like to watch action movies. So reading this book is going to be interesting, but I have been curious how that sort of genre translates to books, and I just want to know, you know, I just want to push myself and try it out. So yeah, what other book to read, what other author to read than Stephen King? And I put an Instagram poll up on my story. Shameless plug, my Instagram is down below, go follow me if you haven't already. But I put an Instagram poll up on my story a little while ago figuring out which Stephen King novel to read, and everybody, well, not everybody, but we had a resounding majority of people who wanted me to read The Shining. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be filming a reading vlog for when I read this because I just have a feeling it's gonna be an experience. So subscribe so that you can see that in the future. The next question is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I have a few favorite books of the year already, and I knew the moment that I read them that they were gonna be on my favorites list for the end of the year. That said, I would not be surprised if we finish The Lord of the Rings, if that ends up being one of my favorites. It has been a favorite story of mine since I was young. It's a big part of my childhood and my upbringing, and I just love sharing the story and the knowledge of the characters and everything with people. I feel like it's just a lovely world to be immersed in. But I would not be surprised if that book ends up being my favorite this year, or one of my favorites. The other book that I'm just really curious about that I think might be able to surprise me as being a favorite is The Poppy War, as I mentioned before. This book is just so beloved, and so many people have mentioned that it's just like an immediate fave. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what I think of it and how I like it. But I do have high hopes. I'm trying not to put too many high hopes on there because I don't want to be disappointed, but I do already have high hopes. And the last question of the tag is, have you already made reading plans for 2021? And truthfully, nope. I've made pretty much zero plans for 2021 right now. All I know is that I will probably do a similar Goodreads reading challenge of 50 books. We'll see how that goes. And maybe I'll branch out in genres depending on how my horror mystery reading experience goes in October. Maybe I'll have a new favorite genre. Who knows? Maybe I'll branch into a new genre and my fantasy love will be joined by mystery thrillers or horror. Who knows? So that could be a possibility to read more in that genre in the upcoming year, but we will just have to see. We'll just have to see. So yeah, quick little reading tag for all of you. Let me know if you guys have any reading plans for the rest of the year, any goals you want to complete, any things you want to catch up on, any books that you've set down that maybe you'd like to return to. I would really love to know. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos, especially that upcoming Stephen King reading vlog. That's gonna be spooky. It's gonna be so much fun though. So thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. Have a great one. I love you so much, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.